We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We the people are the driver. The government is the car. And we decide where it should go and by what route and how fast. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are.
Hey everyone, welcome once again to yet another episode of Two Noobs Talking. It is episode 84. I have John Tracy. I have Steve Murray getting a massage of some kind. I am, of course, Matt Craig. We are happy you are with us. Steve, how's that massage going, man? You feeling good?
Well, this is all I could afford on the Two Noobs health plan.
Makes sense.
Vibrating deep tissue massager.
Makes sense because, you know, a few weeks ago, you were legitimately injured. I mean, you know, you need that massage, I can imagine.
I have received, in response to my threat of lawsuit to Denny Dinette, I've received their first counter offer, which was unacceptable.
Oh. Well,
we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Was it more unbreakable plates?
It was, in fact, a lifetime supply of unbendable spoons. There is no spoon, gentlemen. There is no spoon.
There is no spoon. Unbelievable. John, what's going on, man? How you doing, man?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good. So here we go, guys. Episode 84. Who wore the number in the city of Philadelphia? I think there might have been a wide receiver.
Freddie Solomon?
Yeah, actually, Freddie Solomon. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, for a couple years.
Greg Ward?
Yeah, Greg Ward's
Quarterback of Houston?
Yeah, good dude.
Do you have to bring that up every single time or he catches a pass? Or I should say, do the announcers have to bring that up?
I'm training to work with Joe Buck next year. So I have to get used to former quarterback of Houston University.
There you go. There you go. Hey, it's written in the back of his jersey. You just don't see it in the back of his jersey. It's just written in a really fine font, really fine print.
That's really tiny.
Yeah, exactly.
Former University of Houston quarterback Ward.
Yeah, exactly.
Junior, because the junior.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. They got to do like when they have the long names in hockey where they kind of arch it over the number.
Oh, that would be great if they pulled that off in football. That would be hilarious. I would love that. Did you guys know that Mark Bavaro wore 84 for the Philadelphia Eagles? How about that, Mark Bavaro?
I had forgotten until you reminded me.
He might have wore it with the Giants too, but I hated.
I thought he was 89.
Remember?
I think he was 89 with the Giants.
Who knows?
Yeah,
I hated the Giants so bad back then.
Yeah, and he was one of those guys that you really hated.
You had to.
Yeah.
You would tackle him.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just that was another one of those cases of us grabbing a really cool name 3 years too late.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Philly sports. That's what they do.
That's what they do.
All coffee, baby.
Then there's also Vito Cab that we found kind of funny. 82 to 85. You know, kind of when I was, 6, 7, 8 years old. You guys were, 1, 2? Something like that. I don't know.
Something like that. If I was 3, Steve was 1. If I was 4.
About
hey,
Leo
there was also
Sugar.
Hank Basket, too. Hank Basket was
What about Leo Sugar?
Oh, yeah, Leo Sugar. That's
Forgot about
right.
Leo.
Yeah, 1961. That's right. Yeah.
He does not. That moniker does not suit him.
No.
Sure.
No.
Looks like he headbutts people, man. Like there's no fist fighting. It's just it's a straight headbutt right to the head.
It's like if you guys watched the Hobbit movie.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember the one guy who, like, the one scene when they were fighting the spiders and everybody's like hitting him with swords and rocks, and he's sitting there punching one in the face? That's like Leo Sugar.
Exactly.
I feel that we need to start a Two Noobs movement to get his jersey retired for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, you got to.
He's that badass looking. We need that kind of. I don't care how good he was.
Yeah.
I just want like fairy tale stories about how Sugar took on an entire bar in Kensington.
Put him on the shoulder. Or
Can
the
you
sleeve,
imagine?
you know, wherever you're putting that little mini logo. Put that.
He's now my favorite Eagle of all time after seeing it.
Gotta love it. Then there was Hank Basket. You guys remember Hank Basket, right?
Hank had a run.
He did. He went to
Married
the Super
a
Bowl.
playmate, right?
Married a playmate, yeah. Didn't really
last
do much
long.
in his career. couldn't catch an onside kick in the Super Bowl. That would have really helped the Colts if he would have done that. But he had the drop season a little bit. Oh yeah, and there's Freddie Mitchell.
No, it's about damn time.
Well, I almost forgot about him, to be honest with you.
Most people do.
My question is, like, why would you name yourself after a delivery company when your catches were like 50% of your entire career?
Why would you name after a delivery company that at that time was known for late deliveries? You should have went with UPS. UPS was way hotter than FedEx.
Well, look, that's the whole, it's about damn time. That's what people are saying about FedEx.
Exactly.
And if you do not remember the 4th and 26, Donovan ran around for 3 hours, threw the ball really high in the air.
And somehow the Packers
Freddie Mitchell
like
ran under it.
Defense.
You are confused. You're confusing the Dallas play where Donovan ran around for 14 seconds before throwing the ball really high in the air, and Freddie Mitchell just
came down and actually made the catch. Yeah.
4th and 26 was actually a more normal play. Just
the Packers just snoozed on defense and said, "Oh yeah, we'll allow Freddie Mitchell go down the middle uncovered."
Sticks defense. Wait, where's the sticks? Oh, he caught the ball. Shit.
Oh, first down. That was a horrible spot, by the way. That was an absolutely horrible spot. But somehow he got the first down, and we end up winning the game. So
all I remember is this. He
really
wouldn't stop doing this after that catch. Like, even if he caught like a small dig route, he would get up and do this.
Didn't Stone Cold do that?
I don't
watch.
I don't know why he would do that.
What? It's like, I don't know.
I only remember Stone Cold doing this.
Yeah,
he did that. Yeah, he did.
And there was some of this too.
I don't think you spilled enough on your face.
I was trying not to.
Exactly. Oh man. So here we go, guys. What do you say we kick it off with episode 84, topic 1, and the great Ray Didinger announcing his retirement last week. Little known fact, actually, I shared with the guys in pre-production. He was part of my dad's Temple ROTC, Reserve Officers Training Corps class back in, I think it might have been in the early 60s. I think Dad graduated in 64. So he was right around 61, 62. He was in the class with Ray, which was unbelievable. That was such a great moment. But Ray Didinger, guys, I mean, one of the all-time greats, 50-year career in the city, writing for, I think, for the Philadelphia Daily News. And then I think he went to the Inquirer, if I remember correctly. And then, of course, most notably for Post Game Live with Comcast Sportsnet. Teamed with Mike Barkan for years, ever since the inception. And just one of the all-time greats. Him with the Procopius notes, with his legal pads of, just notes upon notes upon notes. John, what's your memory of Ray? Let's just share some of them, man.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Did newspaper. Probably the first person ever read that made me understand what I watched the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the first one. Like, really great writer. And then moving on, WIP was when he was working with Mac now on the weekends. Like, how much you can just learn from that man when he would just spiel off for 10 minutes. Oh, remember this guy, and this guy did this, and this guy, I had an uncle like that, and he reminded me very much of that. Like, he would give you so much knowledge in a very short amount of time about, you knew if that player was good or not, because he wouldn't pull a punch. He'd be like, I don't, he can catch, but, he was always, you knew where players stood with him.
Yeah.
And they respected him for that.
Oh, no question. Yeah, I think he was one of those guys that you knew he was going to tell the truth of what he saw and what he liked and didn't like, and wasn't afraid to call people out on it. I think that was probably one of his best attributes for sure. Steve, your memories of Ray as we say goodbye to him.
Let's not make it a funeral, for God's sake.
Yeah, exactly. The dude at least gets to go hang out with his wife.
He does, with his grandkids.
He's retiring.
It's tiring.
Right.
He's not.
It is sad. It's sad.
It is.
Yeah, it's sad, but it's not. I really only knew him from Post Game Live from the Eagles. That's just where I grew to know who he was. And you're right, he always kind of told it like it was, and he tended to have really good arguments because he had the notes and statistics to back them up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like he was always sort of the level-headed one on the show. Like Seth, sometimes I feel is too much of a negative Nelly, and Barrett sometimes tends to be a little too positive. And Michael Barkan just has his hair on fire the whole time. But Ray always had, Ray always had, like, you went to him and he would give it to you kind of straight, and you understood it, and that was the way it was, which is a shame that, he didn't have a line to any of the coaches.
So true.
Because you'd think that would have helped.
So true. I like when he would always say a win is a win. Like before he would give the analysis whether they sucked or they were good. A win, like, remember, a win's a win.
Yeah.
Don't be mad at the win, but
yeah.
I do remember 12 years ago when the Flyers beat Boston in the 7-game series by coming back from down 3-0. I took my car to the car wash the next morning on Saturday, and I had the radio on, and he was on with Glenn Macnow, and they were talking about the game. And that's where the first time I kind of found out that he is not just a football guy. Like, he pays attention to all the Philly sports.
He's a Philly sports fan.
He knows a lot about all of it. His knowledge of hockey really surprised me, because I would have figured as much as attention he puts into football, he wouldn't have time for anything else.
Yeah.
But somehow he made time to understand that, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's a great memory. I think for me, probably the best thing, he was always the one guy. I think, Steve, to your point, he was the one guy that I always wanted to listen to on Post Game Live. He was like, with great anticipation, what was Ray going to say regarding the Eagles? Because you knew exactly what he was going to present the facts. He was going to say, this is what happened. This is what the Eagles need to do in order to improve. This is what they can't do. This is what they can do. That kind of deal. And it was never more evident, I think, in 2020, when the Eagles were really, really bad. And he was saying, guys, this team isn't good. It's like, this is a bad division, and the whole bit. And he's like, whoever comes out of here winning the division isn't really that good of a team, at the beginning outset. They're going to get bounced in the first round. And lo and behold, he's exactly right. And it was just one of these things where he was just a straight shooter and was so truthful in the way he presented himself and in the way he presented what happened on the football field with the Eagles.
With all due respect to Ray, that 2020 season, I don't think it took someone of his intelligence caliber to figure out
how bad they were.
East blew.
Yeah, it was bad.
There were anyone who thought otherwise was just delusional.
I think that's why Post Game Live was good, because he was the norm amongst the delusional crew.
Yeah, exactly.
He had a really good relationship with Von Hebron when he was doing it. Mm-hmm. That's where the whole Ray Diddy thing came from.
That's right.
I remember that was when I liked Post Game Live big time, because you had Ray speaking the knowledge and the player backing him up every time.
Von.
Like,
that's a great memory.
He's right. He's absolutely right.
Yeah, I remember Von Hebron. I didn't realize. Yeah, just
almost great.
Yeah, he was great.
But I think Diddy really brought that personality out of him, because he was able to back up what Von Hebron was saying with stats.
Mm-hmm.
And that made Hebron really confident in being able to put his opinion out so strongly.
Yeah.
Because he was being backed up by the man that has all the stats.
By Ray. Yeah.
Yeah, he was that. I like that. I like that duo when they were together.
What was really cool is that Didinger wrote a book called One Last Read. It's a great book, by the way. So you get a chance to check that out. That book basically goes into detail on some of the backgrounds, of the big stories that he covered over the years. And what was so interesting throughout the entire, he can't get away from it. In the entire book, he's writing about how late he was in terms of getting everything in before his deadline. A lot of times it'd be like, okay, we're going to get this printed by 2 a.m. and he's trying to finish his writing at 1:55 a.m. Okay, and I got to get this faxed, that kind of deal. I mean, he took so many notes that he had to make sure that everything was right, and he felt comfortable with it, and then he sent it off, and it was always a big issue for him.
That explains why on Post Game Live, when it first, when the show starts, he's still freaking writing because
he's probably still like third quarter. I remember he's taking his scratch notes and putting them in the real notes.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that I think I'll link it here in the card in the upper right corner of our screen. He had a couple of big stories. One of them was really funny. He played semi-pro slow pitch softball for the city of Philadelphia, which I didn't realize he did.
I didn't even realize they had it.
And they played at the vet. What's that, John? Go ahead.
I didn't even realize they had professional
softball. I was shocked by that. It was only a couple of seasons, but he went and he played, and I mean, and he played in the vet, and he said that was like one of his best memories, because he not only covered the Phillies in the '80 World Series, he saw them win on that turf. He played on it, so it was like, oh my gosh, what living his life like that. So yeah, he's so many different memories of him too. The 2017 when they win the championship, his son comes out, the big hug. Mm-hmm. That was emotional, obviously, and everything.
I actually, the bigger memory for me from the Super Bowl year was when I think it was he and Barkan went on jointly with two guys from Boston.
Yes.
And the guys from Boston were typical dicks, as people from Boston tend to do. And Ray defended the hell out of us.
Not singly everybody, but most.
Yeah.
I know a couple people from Boston. I don't think you guys are dicks.
Are they from Boston, or do they just live in Boston?
No, they're from.
They're from. Okay.
And he defended the hell out of us.
Yeah.
And I think even the guys from Boston were kind of like taken aback by, because coming from Ray, it's not only passionate and defensible, but he had, things to back it up with.
Yeah, he has stats. Like he always has stats. Yeah. If there's one guy I want defending Philly sports, like in the big move, if ESPN does this 30 for 30 where they're bringing one person to defend Philly sports, I want Ray. I'm voting Ray. He's the guy I want to defend us.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly. He also did great work for NFL Films too. Like whenever he was talking about some of the old stories of the Eagles. And we're talking back in the 40s and 50s. He's like a historian.
Back in the times of Leo Sugar.
Yeah, exactly. With Leo Sugar.
I bet you he knows how tough Leo Sugar is.
Oh, yeah, he probably does. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think the one thing too, I think he also wrote a Philadelphia Eagles encyclopedia, if I remember right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he has that.
It was pre-Super Bowl though.
Yeah.
He had to add a chapter like after it was over.
He had a couple books.
Yeah, he did.
He did one with Mac Now. There are a couple. I've read a couple of his books. He's just good.
Yeah.
That dude can just write.
Yeah.
He's just a great writer.
Yeah.
Great storyteller.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what NBC Sports Philly does. Are they going to go 3-man where they've got Barkan, Brooks, Joyner, or are they going to, who are they going to fill? That's the thing.
I would rather them stick with 3 because I fear to God what they're going to do for the 4th guy.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But my only concern with putting another guy in that isn't Ray is that Seth Joyner will beat Barrett Brooks with him. Because the negativity will just deposit to, and Michael Barkan's no help.
Yeah. At least they have time before the season starts to
maybe they could put a wall up between them. Just like a memorial wall that like Ray Didinger, and then Seth's got to stay on this side, Barrett's got to stay on this side.
I don't get the vibe that Seth and Barrett come to trading blows.
No, I don't think
my concern is more about
opposites.
True, but my concern is more about trying to replace Ray, and you put somebody in there who just turns out to be another boob, and now you've ruined the whole thing.
Sorry, that was a total shot.
I don't know who you would put in there. That's the thing. You're right.
I can't think of anybody.
I mean, Macnell, maybe.
No, I can't listen to him anymore.
No.
You certainly can't put Missanelli in there. John would have
No,
a
hell no.
raging fit.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell no, he doesn't know anything about football.
I'm not sure he knows
Tyrone,
anything
maybe.
about any sport.
Maybe Tyrone. You get Tyrone in there.
I like Tyrone, but
I like Tyrone too, but I don't think that's
His
don't
most
think-
more of the Sixers, I think, probably for him.
he is, but he has his own post game show
Mm-hmm.
for the Sixers that is a different style than
yeah, it's
kind
actually
of Eagles post game live, and I just don't.
Maybe they changed the format.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, but losing Ray, you could just change the format
yeah.
to make it more successful for a Seth Joyner and Barrett Brooks instead of that like round table where Ray was kind of holding court.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you also have it like really. I mean, granted, there's more games, but with Phillies post game live, they have a rotation of different analysts that come in. Barkhan's usually the host, or sometimes it'll be like one of the. I think Vitalico was doing it last night
I love Ricky.
with Ruben.
Yes,
Vitalico too.
Ricky gets so mad.
Yeah, he does.
He gets so mad.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
They couldn't afford him, but you could put Baldinger in that spot.
I could see that,
Uh,
but they couldn't
If
afford
you
him. You're
needed
right.
if you needed someone that had a Ray-esque kind of, he really knows the game, the
He's got
got and
that
outs.
finger that kind of goes.
Yeah,
Oh my
Baldinger
god!
would be. I don't think they can afford him because why would you want to pay? Like he's like ESPN money. He's NFL Network money. He's
Yeah.
not local sports money.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be a step down probably for Balding.
Which funny, which makes Ray even better if you think about it, because we're talking about guys that are on the national stage having to come back local to replace the local guy.
Yeah, huge.
I
Yeah,
also don't see any local beat writers
There's not
that
one.
could fill that either.
Yeah, there's not.
I mean,
There's-
Jeff McClain is pretty universally hated
Yeah,
by everybody.
pretty much.
you also have Ruben, Frank.
I like Ruben on Twitter. I would like to keep him there.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I can see that. Yeah,
I
the other
will
one would
not-
be
I will not tune in to post game because he's on there.
Yeah.
Because I get what I get from Ruben on Twitter. I don't have to listen to him. I can just read what he says and be done with him.
And I feel like Dave Zangaro, although does a great job with Ruben, Dave Zangaro has got to be 5'6". Like he would be so small compared to Seth
I don't think
and Barrett.
I do agree he does do a good job. He and Ruben do a good
Mhm.
podcast, but I don't think Dave has the. I mean, Ray had a kind of charisma to him,
Yeah.
right? And I don't
Yeah.
think Dave has that for that
Mhm.
show.
Yeah.
I feel like Dave would be intimidated by Seth Joyner.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Of course,
it's
everybody
really-
would too.
Yeah, I think the Eagles suck today. What did you think, Dave?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you,
But
Seth.
Seth's not going to do that to like a G, like
like,
Ray, who pulls off the sport coat
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
year 2022, pulls off the sport coat better than most people did in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, "This is my gimmick. Get over it. You're not
Yeah.
gonna. You're not gonna." I've met many of you, Seth. Go away.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, true. I think for all three of us, we're gonna miss you, Ray. And you added so much. But good. Have a great time, really.
Yes,
With your
enjoy.
return. Absolutely enjoy. You totally deserve it. Absolutely.
Got grandkids and plans from what he was saying. So
Can't
good.
go wrong.
Enjoy.
Good.
Go for it. All right, guys, topic 2. And as we move on, we have an interesting article here from Reuters. Twitter estimates spam. Fake accounts comprise less than 5% of users. So the deal, the $43 billion deal that Elon has filed for, currently is on hold because of this. Twitter has estimated in a filing on Monday that false or spam accounts represented fewer than 5% of its daily active users during the first quarter. Currently, the social media giant has 229 million users who were served
I
advertisements
think
in the
it's
first quarter.
Elon put thing on hold, I think, because he doesn't believe that statistic.
Yes, pending an investigation because he doesn't believe that the number is 5. He believes it's higher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The disclosure came days after Tesla chief executive Elon Musk, who has inked a deal to buy Twitter for $43 or $44 billion, tweeted that one of his priorities would be to remove spam bots from the platform. He's planning to do that, from what I understand, is that he wants to essentially make it a subscription-based service so that you basically have like a level set account, basically for free or whatever.
Yeah.
But as you grow in the subscription, the better benefits you get. That's the idea, which I'm all in favor. It's kind of like, think about it, like if you get Peacock, if you want a streaming service, you get Peacock for $5 every month. Okay, I'll sign up for that. Or Hulu.
I'm certainly not paying for Twitter.
No, but what he's saying is the people that are monetizing off of it, the rich of the rich, the people that want to promote their stuff out there, bands, actors, those kinds of things, they'll pay.
Yeah.
For what they want to do. But if you just want to go on Twitter and get some information from people, you're clear to do that.
Clear to do that.
Well, how does that solve the bot problem?
That doesn't solve the bot problem. That's what Elon's plan is.
Yeah, I think
the bot problem, I think he wants to know how many, because $44 billion is a lot of money.
Oh, heck yeah.
I mean, that's all I read from that article is he did also tweet out on that article.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he's still doing it. He just wants this investigation done because he needs to know. I mean, you're paying
$54 a share at basically. And that stock price right now, just checking it as of this recording, Saturday the 14th, it is currently at $40.72. It had been at $54 when the acquisition was announced. So, and it dropped off significantly on Friday. The original stock price on Thursday the 12th of May at close was at $44.73. By the time the market opened at 9:30, it was down to $40.52. $40.52. So literally a 10% drop in their stock price.
Well, look,
because of this. Go ahead, Steve.
If the statistic turns out to be true, that it's just 5%, that means you're going to have 11.5 million accounts on Twitter are bots. You get rid of those, you're still over 200 million.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that's going to hold up the deal.
No.
Now,
I think
if it turns out to be like, we're starting to get into 25-30%.
Yeah.
Then maybe you can have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a problem. But I think that's what he wants to know before he finalizes everything.
Sure.
He has every right to do.
100%.
I mean, I don't trust a man I don't trust Elon Musk, but this seems to be he's just doing basic business practices.
Yeah.
You're saying this, I don't believe you. I would like to look. That's kind of the funny, because the ridiculous left and right are making deals about every single thing that happens in this Twitter thing is the end of the world, or this is like, oh my God, he's going to tank Twitter and run away. Like, he's just asking.
It really is amazing. You're right, John. The reaction on both extreme sides is really it's fascinating. It is literally. I'm sitting back and I'm like watching this, and I'm like, I don't even know what to make of all of this, because it's like the left wants to leave. I don't know why. And the right is basically like, we've got free speech, even though they've always had free speech on that platform. It's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a reaction like this for one guy. And then, of course, it's like, well, the right, I've seen some of the right saying like, well, Elon should buy everything. And it's like, no. We don't want to go down that route.
Yeah,
we don't want anybody owning everything. That would not work at all at the end of the day.
But that's what it's. And all he's doing is something basic that seems normal, that if you were spending $44 billion, you would do.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. I'm gonna bring someone in to check.
Yeah. How does social media make money? It's about advertising.
Mm-hmm.
All about it. Yeah.
So you need to know how many legitimate people, if I'm advertising on the platform, how many legitimate people is this going to reach? If it's over 200 million, then to Elon, that's probably worth $44 billion.
Worth the
You make a
investment.
lot of money.
Yep.
But if that number is significantly lower, then maybe the price you're paying is not worth it.
Exactly.
And
you can
it's not
negotiate
just
that price. Yeah.
to me, he should consider not just bots, and I don't know if the article counted this or not, but you should also consider whether some of those accounts are like stagnant.
Yes.
People who no longer use it and just never bothered to delete
They're
it.
talking about bots, spam, and duplicate accounts that are inactive.
Yeah.
That's the number that Twitter is saying. It's all that.
They're saying that's less. So if you're going to include, I could have bought maybe that your bots alone were less than 5%.
Yeah.
If you're going to say stale accounts, bots, and what was the third one you said?
Spam accounts, bots, and the duplicate.
If you're going to say all three of those, I'm not buying 5%.
No, that's yeah. I don't think that's. I think it's more.
One of the hosts here himself has at least 2 accounts on Twitter.
I actually have 11 Twitter accounts that are not active. The only active Twitter account I have is the 2 Noobs one.
Oh my gosh.
Well, so I'm followed by 2 John Tracy accounts. Neither one of those is active whatsoever.
Nope. And there's 9 more of them that probably follow.
That are floating around out there. Oh my gosh.
Matt, I'm assuming Matt deleted his.
Completely.
So he was at least responsible.
Well, fuck Twitter. Like, I don't care.
All right, so guys,
I don't really either because I don't own stock. So what do I care?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. But I could see how someone that is trying to buy stock actually cares.
Now,
or someone who's trying to sell it.
Yes.
Guys, you're not going to believe this, but I just checked just now, and this is a blind reaction. This is going to be great. Rapper Snoop Dogg said he may swoop in to buy Twitter now that Elon Musk's $44 billion bid to buy the social media company is on hold. He tweets out, quote, may have to buy Twitter now, end quote.
Nice.
The rapper laid out a set of new rules for the company. You ready? New rules.
All right.
1.
Anything Snoop Dogg says is great.
Replace the entire board of directors.
Awesome.
Okay.
Fair.
2. Give everyone a verified account and put free internet on the airplane.
I'm not sure how that works. Owning
is
Twitter.
Is he running for president?
He might be.
Win on that.
He's his quote is going to replace the board of directors with Jimmy from my corner fish fry,
Nice.
Tommy Chung,
Okay.
and that guy with the ponytail on CNBC. He wrote. Everyone gets a blue check mark.
Snoop
Even
Dogg.
the bots with 10 letters in their name that hit you in DMs and just say
Nice.
hello.
There's one man that keeps it real in this world. It is Snoop Dogg.
He later
Does he
tweeted first line of business, free internet on airplanes, $29 for 1 hour is BS. That's where
Again,
the free,
how does Twitter factor into that? I don't know.
I don't know how he's spending $44 billion and then doing all this.
Exactly. That's marketwatch.com, by the way, if you get a chance to take a look at
Good job,
that.
Snoop.
I mean, Snoop, hey, why not? Just chip in, see if you can try and, 9th hour, maybe? I don't know, but...
What Snoop does in serious situations shows you how ridiculous the situation is. And that's exactly what this is. Like, they're literally... Elon Musk is fighting with a bunch of weirdos from Twitter about things that don't exist, like, in the real world.
My question is, with Snoop now potentially trying to buy Twitter back,
Well,
does that make the left happy? Does that make the right hot?
But was that his verified account or was that a bot account?
That's a great question.
We didn't do enough investigation on that. It could have been his duplicate account taken over by his kid. We don't know.
I don't know who it's going to make happy as far as his ownership of Twitter. I just hope that wouldn't preclude his appearances on Animal Planet going forward. I enjoy those.
Or performing in the Super Bowl halftime show like he did this last year, right, guys? I mean, who knows? I mean,
10 years too late. Great job, NFL.
Always. You can always count on the NFL for family-friendly entertainment, Johnny. You know what I'm saying? Just great.
God.
And now, a word from our sponsor. And now, a word from our sponsor. John, are you there? Hello?
Yeah, I can't hear him. Can you hear him?
I can't hear him at all. Oh, this is terrible. Oh my gosh. Steve, we can't hear you. We can't hear you at all. No, nothing. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is a disaster.
Oh God.
Oh, what is happening? Oh my gosh. Okay, we got to get back. Oh geez. Hold on one second. There we go.
Oh God. I hope he has a trained professional back there. Oh Jesus.
What is happening, Steve? Steve, are you there? Steve. Oh my gosh. Steve, are you there? Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh
Wow.
man.
Wow.
Whew.
Hold on.
What the heck was going on here?
I don't know. All of a sudden it was like, guys, we're gonna have to like look into this with every single.
I don't know how you set Steve's thing up, but he just had to bring out a Sawzall, dude. You're not even getting a check, bro. Later.
Unbelievable. My gosh, that was crazy.
All for naught.
All for naught. What do you know? What you were even talking about at all, or do we even divulge that information? Not even a clue. Okay.
Well, if they're not going to pay us, and we've just cut them loose,
I guess we all move on.
I'm not going to even utter their name on air.
That's awesome. Love it. All right, guys. Well, let's move on from that silliness and let's go into topic 3, the Steve Murray segment. I love it. Every third topic is a Steve Murray segment. I love it.
Why did the third segment automatically become me? I don't.
It's part of your contract that when you came on and you signed, there's a little bit of fine print in the contract that says you have to be responsible for putting an article together in the third segment of every episode of Two Noobs going forward. So,
well, I don't hear the first couple segments as the Matt Craig segment or the John Tracy segment.
Well, that's okay.
That's
all right. It's in your contract. Don't worry about it.
All right. The contract that doesn't guarantee me any decent health.
Nope, none
premiums
whatsoever.
No, sorry. Yeah, we got to get that. Maybe we'll get that fixed for you. But anyway, in any event, Yahoo article here. Scientists reveal. Don't use that. Scientists reveal
that might help with the lateral pain in the neck.
Yeah, exactly.
It might help.
All right, guys. Topic 3 here. Scientists reveal first image of the black hole in the center of our galaxy. That's crazy. Scientists have imaged a black hole before, but now they've captured a picture of the most important example. This one is at the heart of the Milky Way galaxy. They used the Event Horizon Telescope, and that telescope revealed the first image of Sagittarius A star, aka SGR A star, the supermassive black hole at the center of our home galaxy. And we're going to throw the snapshot, bam, right here on screen.
Real quick,
right?
That sounds expensive.
Yeah. It sure does. Yeah, exactly.
That sounds expensive.
Yeah. Snapshot concerns both the presence of the black hole, provides more details about how those extreme space objects work. Steve, your thoughts on this article, because this is, I think, utterly fascinating. Go ahead.
The trouble they've had with trying to image the black hole, other than the fact that it's a black hole, i.e. no light comes out of it, and how do you find it in the black universe?
And how do you take a picture of it?
Right.
That's the expensive part.
Other than that, they've also had the problem that it's shrouded in dust, which light doesn't get through. So this is actually a pretty neat technical achievement to get a picture of it, and it looks a lot like the one they photographed from another galaxy a couple years ago. I think it was M87.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that we've been able to achieve this is actually pretty cool. And the image, like the one from M87, confirms a lot about what we know about the physics with regards to black holes and how they work, which is relatively very little, but
Yes.
at least we know a couple things.
At least a couple of things. Far from identical beyond this, the Milky Way's hole is over 1,000 times smaller. Quiet you. 1,000 times smaller and less massive. That made it a challenge to accurately visualize the gas whipping around the hole as it orbits in minutes, where M87's gas takes days or even weeks. And while the object is huge at 4 million times more massive than the sun, think about that. M87's counterpart is billions of times more massive. So, I mean, I'm always amazed at just space in and of itself and just the vastness of it.
Well, let me put this in perspective, because the way black holes work is you
Yeah.
got a lot of mass in a tiny space.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 4 million suns, our sun,
Mhm.
confined within a space that is no bigger than probably about half the orbit of Mercury around the sun. So 4 billion suns packed into something that would still be, 60 million miles away from us
Wow.
if you were to put it in our solar system.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And then you have to think about, it said minutes for the dust to go around it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's some really freaking fast dust.
No doubt.
And when you see in the picture, that's that orange glow.
Mm-hmm.
When dust is moving that fast, there's a lot of friction, and friction creates heat.
Mm.
So that's some hot dust.
Is that WWE's new character for Cody Rhodes?
I think.
Hot dust.
There you go. The team needed the Event Horizons Telescope network of radio observatories
That
to
sounds
produce
so
the
stupid.
imagery over the course of multiple nights. They developed new imaging tools and used a mix of supercomputing power and black hole simulations to help compare their findings. The project took 5 years to complete. 100 million hours of supercomputer time at the U.S. National Science Foundation.
Steve,
I
what
mean-
did you say when we read that last night in pre-production?
What?
To take a picture?
It took
What Matt just said, to take a single
to take
photo.
a picture.
Yeah.
It took them nights, 5 years, whatever, supercomputing cycles.
Yes.
100 million
And
hours
God
of
knows how
supercomputer
much
time.
money.
Well, look, the center of the Milky Way, we're in the Milky Way galaxy. That's our home. Okay. The center of that galaxy, we are in, if the center was Philadelphia, we're in like Ohio.
Yeah.
The center of the galaxy is 26 or 27,000 light years away. And a light year is the distance that light travels in a year, which is really freaking long.
Yeah.
So we're at this. So this picture of the center of the Milky Way galaxy is actually not what the center looks like today. It's what it looked like 27,000 years ago, because that's how long it took the light to get here.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
So
Wow.
as you can imagine, it would be difficult to photograph this.
That's just remarkable. Just absolutely remarkable. And yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm always amazed at seeing the Milky Way. Like when you guys go to the Franklin Institute, and you see the way they put the just the solar system in the in the observatory. You look up and you see, it takes you this long to get to here, and this long to get to Saturn, and this long to get all the way out to Neptune and all that kind of stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, that's just scratching the surface of just how vast this universe is, much less this galaxy too. Well, galaxy and this universe, I should say. Reverse that.
One
It's
of
crazy.
the Voyager spacecraft, which launched in like the 70s, has only just within the last few years actually reached the edge of what is considered our solar system. Just to give you some perspective on that.
That's crazy. Yeah, absolutely crazy. More data going forward. The EHT, which I don't know what that is continuing to expand.
Event Horizon Telescope.
Thank you. Event Horizon Telescope continuing to expand, conducted its largest observation effort yet this March. Scientists hope for both more detailed images and videos of SGR A star and other black holes in the near future.
Nice.
All told, black hole visuals could be relatively commonplace before long. So
Well, that would be good because we know next to nothing about
Yes.
what goes on.
And to quote Freddie Mitchell, it's about damn time.
One of the problems with studying a black hole is if you get too close to some of them, depending on their characteristics, you would get what's called spaghettified. So it's tidal forces, right? So if my finger is a person, this is the head and this is their feet. The forces acting, gravitational forces acting between the feet and the head
would go.
With respect to a black hole may be such that it's way stronger down here than it is up here, and so you're going to get stretched.
Yikes.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to,
I wouldn't want to be there. No.
Can we get Cuomo on the first show? Do this. He's my first test subject.
We tend to talk about these space topics every time we've got an Elon story too. I don't know if there's some relation there, but
he's a pod person.
Maybe Elon can do us the favor and get Cuomo out there.
My question is, why don't we get that space shuttle back up and running? Heck with the rocket. Let's get that thing up and running again. Might as well. All right, guys. Topic 4, and it's the start of the Two Noobs tournament, Grand Edition, I guess you could say, the Best Philadelphia Athlete tournament. And just to kind of reiterate what we talked about last week, we ranked for every team. You got the Phillies, the Flyers, the Sixers, and the Eagles. We did a top 16 of all of the teams. My God, this is going to be the massive tournament to determine who is the best Philadelphia athlete all the way across the board. It's going to be crazy. And it's going to conclude at episode 100, so it should be fun. But let's go ahead and get started. What do you say, guys?
For all you naysayers, it's 83 to now.
That's what I was gonna.
1983 until now, 40 years.
1983 till now, just because that's what we grew up with. So because we can't talk about how good Leo Sugar was.
Yes, exactly.
we didn't see him.
And I don't want to get chased down the street with canes because I didn't put Tommy McDonald on the list.
There you go. Exactly.
I know he was good because I was told he was good.
We also wanted a cutoff. What was it? What did we decide on? It's got to be a career in Philadelphia of 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
No JJ Redick.
Yep.
Right. No JJ
Redick.
Redick.
No JJ Redick. No Dikembe Mutombo. No Adam Oates Reynolds for 2 weeks and he's done. That kind of
deal.
No
Terrell Owens, as John said.
No T.O. Yeah, exactly. So T.O.'s not on this list, but
we wanted people who left,
lived
a good legacy in Philadelphia over a course of years.
Yes.
Fan favorite. Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. What do you say? So this will be the bottom half of the Best Eagle bracket. I've deemed this the NovaCare region of the Best Eagle bracket. So just to kind of give it some flair. Yeah, exactly. Steve, we're going to start with you first. We're going to have
J.J. Stokes.
We're going to have the 3 seed. He did not play for Philadelphia. We're going to have the 3 seed
not
Donovan.
J.J. Stokes.
3 seed Donovan McNabb.
Oh!
Going up against the 14 seed LaShawn McCoy.
Wow, you're throwing the Donovan McNabb one at me.
Yeah, Donovan or LaShawn.
Thank God you got that one. I got heat with Donovan. I'm glad.
Yeah.
All right. Donovan McNabb, despite never delivering the Super Bowl here, the reason we had him in the 3 seed is because he's probably the best quarterback we've had here in 25 years?
Easily.
30 years?
Easily.
Yeah. Legit franchise quarterback. You can't ask for anything better than that if you're the Eagles.
Look, he took us to 5 NFC championship games.
He sure did, yeah.
Okay, and won one.
That's one more than Jim Kelly.
That's right.
That's a great point.
That's a great
That's
point.
a great point.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So the end result was not there, but I was actually reminded today that if you focus completely on just the end result, you're going to have massive misery. So I like to focus on Donovan was a great quarterback for this team, and we didn't win a Super Bowl with him, but that doesn't take away from a lot of the things he did. He played on a broken leg, for God's sake, in the Arizona game, and what was it,
four touchdowns?
4 TDs in that game?
touchdowns.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns on a broken leg?
On a broken leg. The connection he had, the instant chemistry he had with Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
Later on in like 2008.
Real quick, he's the only quarterback that I've ever seen that could out throw Deshaun Jackson running.
Yeah.
Most quarterbacks you see with Deshaun Jackson would hit him in stride. When Donovan threw the ball, Deshaun had to run faster.
Yeah.
Because how strong his arm was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, to McCoy's point, he's the all-time leading rusher, right?
He is. Yeah, he is the all-time leading rusher for the Eagles. Yep.
He had a phenomenal game in the snow against Detroit. Very, very capable, talented running back. But I think as the discussion we just had shows, I am going to move Donovan on because
there you go.
His legacy as the best quarterback here since Randall, if not even before Randall.
Yeah. Don't think you could have an argument there. Yeah.
It's beyond compare. So
we're going Donovan. Okay.
Donovan on.
There you
Solid
go.
Choice. Solid.
So, John,
Yes.
for you, we have the 7-seed Randall Cunningham, the ultimate weapon,
Yeah.
going up against the 10-seed Fletcher Cox.
Ooh, that's tough.
Randall or Fletcher?
That's real tough because
Yeah.
Fletch won a chip.
He
And
did.
was a huge piece in that chip. And
Yeah.
it was the ultimate weapon.
Yeah.
Um,
Fletch, I remember, not to sways anything, but I remember Fletch having a huge, he had monster games early on, obviously in 2011-12 when he was defensive tackle. But Randall,
I'm gonna do this, and I have to. I was too young to really appreciate Randall. So I'm gotta go Fletcher because I watched his entire career.
Okay.
He is and will be the prototypical defensive tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles moving forward.
And that puts it over the top.
He left a bigger impact on the team.
Okay.
Randall was a great player.
Great player. Yeah.
Great player. You can't take anything away from him. But
Fletch, you're right. Yeah.
Chip in years, man.
Yeah.
Fletch is an Eagle.
No doubt. Great pick. I love it.
For the record, I would have gone the opposite way.
Oh, there you go.
I love Fletcher Cox, and I love everything he's done, and he's the guy gets triple teamed, so he doesn't always get the stats, but he absolutely influences the line. But Randall Cunningham was nothing I think we had ever seen.
He's a superhero.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, for what he left, I just gotta
putting aside what he could do running and throwing the ball. The man had a 90-yard punt at Giant Stadium.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, Steve, back over to you. So we're going to go with the 6-seed Eric Allen against the 11-seeded Seth Joyner.
Oh, man.
So you got your post-game live guy against what we really consider to be our Deion Sanders. Really, if you stop to think about it, Eric Allen. Who I don't think is in the Hall of Fame. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I don't think Eric Allen.
I think we looked, and I think he's not.
He's not. Yeah.
I think it's a crime he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're talking both of them were on the 91 best defensive ever, in the Eagles history. That kind of deal. So.
Whew, that.
Yeah.
This is
that's tougher
way
than the one I just had.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Eric Allen was our top corner for a number of years.
Yes. Yes.
I can't even name who was on the other side.
A bunch of dudes.
I mean,
One of them comes to mind is Izell Jenkins.
Yes.
That gives you an idea.
In our lifetime,
been on the other side of him. Like, there were
Mark
so
McMillan
many,
was another one. You know,
there were
that kind
so many people.
in our lifetime, it's
Statement.
always been like, Bobby and Troy,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lito and Sheldon.
Yeah.
We've always kind of, when we've had great corners, they've always sort of come in twos.
Yeah.
And Alan just really kind of stands out on his own. Seth was a beast
Okay.
of a
Yeah.
linebacker.
Oh, yeah.
Is he in the Hall of Fame? He is in the Hall of Fame, right?
I don't. He's in
don't
the
think-
Eagles one, but he's
Yeah,
not
he's
in
in
Canada.
Eagles Hall of Fame. I don't
He's
think
an Eagles
in-
Hall of Famer,
yeah.
but he's not in Canada.
And that's also a crime.
No doubt.
Um,
No doubt about that.
Oof, this is really tough. I'm gonna have to go with Seth.
Ooh,
Wow.
love it.
That's
Okay.
the guy. He's a tough guy.
But the
like
reason
me
we
some
did
tough
this
guys.
too is perspective on 83 to this is literally people we saw. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's there's no wrong answer. That's the best part about
Absolutely.
it. There is
Absolutely.
really no
and
wrong
then
answer.
it's a tough matchup, no question about it. Great pick, though.
Just to give Matt props, to get to these, it was long nights.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We did a
argued
lot of
and
this.
argued, and we're still friends, which is amazing.
Absolutely.
Throughout the whole process, because this
Yeah.
is a hard process.
Yeah.
So,
I
Well,
think the
John-
this Eagles bracket was probably the hardest one out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I
No
think so.
question, because there's so many of them that are so great. John,
Well, you get 53 guys on it
Yeah.
per year.
per year, and it's like who's the top 16?
and 7 of them each year could be a highlighted player. That is, you know what I mean? Because of 53, like 7's a
Absolutely.
small amount.
Absolutely. So John, closing out the first round here
Oh,
in the bracket,
I got anxiety right now.
you got the number 2 seed Brian Dawkins
Oh, I don't even care who he's facing. He's done.
against the 15 seed Jerome Brown. You're going B.
Yeah,
Dawkins,
well,
right?
Jerome was here for a short period of time. One of the greatest things I've ever seen, especially even prior. I remember him playing at the University of Miami. Like,
That doesn't count, John.
beast.
Playing at
a
other teams
beast
does not
of a
count.
man, beast of a human, but he's going against Brian Dawkins. Like there's no conversation.
Pretty simple and straightforward. I
If
love
Ed
it.
Reed and Troy Polamalu don't exist, Brian Dawkins is the greatest safety that has ever played the game.
No doubt about that.
Like he's
yeah.
in that conversation.
Yeah.
He might be the Eagle.
Yeah, exactly.
Hit on Algie Crumpler. Outstanding.
How many hits? I mean,
And he is in the Hall of
Superman,
Fame, and he-
tackle that he made, the interceptions he had. I mean, the highlight reel.
Okay, he's the greatest thing. He's the greatest thing we've ever had.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah.
I really mean that too. Like Brian Dawkins is my patriarch eagle movie. Like he's the thing I follow. Like I don't care about anybody else. when
There you
talk
go.
about
There you go.
That level.
All right, so we move on to the second round here, and Steve, it's up to you here. We've got the 10 seed Fletcher Cox going up against the 2 seed Brian Dawkins.
Well, since I was going to bounce Fletcher Cox for Randall anyway, um,
Would Randall survive this bracket? That's the question.
That's a great question. Yeah.
against Doc,
Mhm.
I'm not going to be as dismissive as John was, but yes, it's Brian Dawkins. I think we're moving him.
Moving him on. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just his, not only the way he played, but the way he approached the game,
Oh, yeah.
like to get himself mentally into it.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
just beyond, because the guy like off the field is this mellow, like very humble dude, and then the minute he steps on the grass, it's like kill.
Yeah, he-
You know,
Yeah, I met him in person at an autograph signing here in Camp Russia, and he had muscles muscles, just like he was built. And you look at him, and he's just like the most humble, gracious human being you'd ever meet in your entire life outside of that, outside of that entire
It's a beautiful
line.
human being. He's
Just a beautiful human being. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
so I'm
John?
advancing Dawkins.
Yeah, there you go. So Dawkins is in. Okay. And so, John, on your side, you've got the number 3 seed Donovan McNabb your boy, up against the 11-seeded Seth Joyner. What do you got, man?
Oh man, I got heat with Donovan too.
Yeah.
Well, now you got to explain that because
That's,
we need to uncover any bias you may have in making this decision.
Donovan's a douche. That's the heat. But he is the franchise quarterback.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you a Donovan story that still to this day, it still pops me when I think about it. My dad took me to training camp.
Okay.
Watching them practice. First time I ever was at training camp. I was probably, young enough to remember it as like a father-son thing, but old enough to like know I liked football. And it was a cool experience. So Andy blows the whistle at the end of the practice.
Wait a minute. Andy Reid took over in 1999. You would have been in your 20s.
Okay. So it was... Yeah, it's about, okay. So I was thinking like 18, 19, so 20.
Okay.
Late bloomer. So we went to the thing, and I'm watching everything, and it's cool. I'm watching them practice. Andy blows the whistle, and he goes, "Day off tomorrow. Got to hit the trash can," to the quarterbacks. I can't remember who the other two were, but it was a very, very, very sloppy pass. And Donovan's the last one, and he goes, and the fucking trash can falls over, and the entire team freaks out.
Oh my god!
And they're surrounding him, and I was like, he's got skill.
Yeah.
Like, I was like in person, first time seeing him. Like, well, he's got talent. He's got talent that other guys don't have.
Yeah.
And that, I think that was where I think the heat with Donovan is I wanted them to be better than he was. I always wanted more from him. I wanted him to win a title. I wanted to put him at the top of the Mount Rushmore. I wanted him to be the guy. So, yeah, he's got to move on.
So Donovan, okay.
He is the guy.
Yeah.
Minus the heat.
Minus the. All right, guys. So we have hit I guess you could say the Sweet 16 here. And so now this will be a berth into the Elite 8 in the NovaCare region.
Nice.
So we have Donovan as the 3 seed going up against Brian Dawkins of the 2 seed. So what the guys are going to do now are they're going to text me their vote. We're not going to like sway each other right now.
No.
I think we have an idea though of who is actually moving on as I make my choice here. But yeah,
I'm just going to send this right to you. I'm not going to send it.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
What I'm,
yeah.
I'm doing too. I'm just sending it right to Matt.
Okay, cool.
So me and Steve don't fight on Twitter.
There you go. So in a unanimous landslide victory, Brian Dawkins heads to the Elite 8 in the NovaCare bracket. So there you go, guys. So we've hit.
I agree with that.
I don't think any. I mean, my God, you've
Nothing
got the greatest safety in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Nothing against any of those guys either.
No.
Nothing. Like they're all great players.
Absolutely.
If you chose someone different, good on you.
Yeah.
Like in the ones because.
This was hard. This was really, really hard. But
Yeah,
we're going to keep going, guys. We're going to keep going. In a couple weeks, we're going to have the Philadelphia Phillies on the bracket. Kind of give you a little bit of a heads up there. So that'll be in 2 weeks. But great job as always. Yeah, and so Brian Dawkins will move on. We'll just flash up here the brackets going forward. Obviously, it'll just be Doc on there. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting as we continue on with this tournament. It's just one down and 7 more left. Ugh, we'll see what goes on, but yeah.
Are we all pleased with Dawkins coming out of that bracket?
Yeah, I think it was a no doubt about it. I think for me, when I was looking at it and how everything was seated, I mean, Doc to me was like my odds-on favorite, really, to be honest with you.
He meets all the tests I have with athletes.
Yeah.
Like the watch test. Do I enjoy watching him?
Yeah.
Do I think he hones his skills as an athlete? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like he checks all the boxes.
Checks every single box. Yeah, absolutely.
And he's a damn good human being.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
I think, yes, he's a good human being. I think where Donovan struggles is, I think his personality can be grating.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And I think that's where the heat comes from.
But a worthy 3, though. I mean, really.
Absolutely.
I mean, at the end of the day, we'll go through, of course, like in a few months down the road, we'll have the other half of the Eagles bracket, so kind of give you guys an idea of like where we rank the other 8 and how that all.
I'm super intrigued knowing the guys in the other bracket, how they're going to fare against Dawkins.
That's going to be interesting. Who's going to come out of that top bracket is going to be very interesting. Yeah.
I'm blanking. Since Dawkins was 2, I'm blanking on who number 1 was.
Yeah, see? Well, we have to stay tuned. We'll see. Well, yeah, that'll be in a few weeks' time. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it. We've hit the end of the episode 84 of Two Noobs Talking. As always, guys, it's great to be able to sit and chat with you and talk about the news of the day and everything.
We did it.
We did it. Absolutely. So, John, let's do our little shameless plugs. Where can people find us, bud?
Okay, well, it's Steve's fault that we're on Facebook. And then I grabbed that video and I put it in all other social media places. Instagram Reels, Instagram, TikTok, Clapper, Facebook Reels. And all we do is little short minute videos to bring you to our...
Yeah, that's our main YouTube channel, of course, the Two Noobs Talking Podcast. Like, share, subscribe, get notified when all of our videos appear. And on the audio side, of course, Steve.
On the audio side, we are on Podbean, which spreads us like a virus across the country through other audio sites, such as...
That's worse than COVID-19. I just put a disclaimer.
Such as, let's say, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and others. You can just Google us, either spelling TWO or TOO. We'll get you there.
There you go. Our show notes are found twonoobstalking.wordpress.com. Links to all of our articles, whenever we get around to posting them, are posted there. So there you go. So my thanks, of course, to Steve and John. My name, of course, is Matt. Happy for all of you to sit and listen to us. It's on to 85, guys. So until then.
To no technical difficulties, baby.
Talk to you all next week. Take care.
Thank God you didn't cut yourself.
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed. That's a great question. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be true.